Welcome back. It's still the newspaper review right here on High Impact Television. We took a look at some of the stories making the rounds on the front page of the Punch newspaper. But before we move on to the Guardian and the Vanguard newspapers, we are currently being joined by Honorable Larry Jaji from Ogun State. He is a public affairs analyst and a public commentator. Good morning, Honorable Jaji, and welcome to the newspaper review.
Good morning, my brother. Compliment of the season to you.
A happy new year to you too, Honorable Jaji. Yes, Honorable Larry Jaji, and last year before we got to the 25th of last year, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, who had been having a loggerhead with the federal government concerning meeting some of the demands that it has tabled since 2009, is currently on. And they made a statement before last year came to an end that by this time, this year, when they go on strike, they would not call off the strike until the government meets all their demand. This is the year 2022. Should we be expecting anything different, or will the status quo continue to hold sway?
Well, it is a new year. We should be able to do things in a different way to get different results. We cannot continue to do the same thing the same way and expect a different result. I think we also need to, be a little bit considerate, especially because of our children. It's quite unfortunate that the government is not listening to us. And what ASU are really fighting for are things that will help our children, that will help the nation. But unfortunately, the government is not listening to ASU's demand. I mean, the government cannot go to the mountain. I think the mountain now will now need to go to Moene, because our children that are in universities, our children that are in universities now that are supposed to even be in 200 or 300 level, that have, their times have been wasted. Their counterparts in private universities, and are going to 300, 400 level, preparing to go and serve. So I think something needed to be done because of the future of these children. We need to be very careful. I think ASU needs to shift ground. I'm begging them now, as a father and as a parent, that if there are some demands that they felt they can still manage and the government is not doing, they should please, for God's sake, see what they can be able to do so that our children can go to school. Because if they should go on and definitely strike this time around, it will affect the future of our children. Somebody that have calculated that are going to graduate by the year 2022, 2024. I mean, and the thing is being postponed. And not all parents can afford to take their children to private university. Yeah, a huge amount of money is being paid, per semester. So I think something needed to be done. We have to get a different, packaging this time around.
Okay. Now, Honorable Jaji, if you look at the Nigerian education system, even before someone is able to run for public office or to occupy public office as a politician, there is a stipulated and laid down rule that you must have gone through the National Youth Service Corps, which is by legal provision. And if you don't go through that procedure, it will be very, very hard for you to occupy any public office in Nigeria. It's one of the case of the former Minister of Finance who actually left or resigned as the Minister of Finance because she was unable to go through the process, or there was some itch in the pipeline while she was going through that problem. Do you think that there should be a law, a policy also for politicians to have their wards, a school in the country or school in public schools in Nigeria, so that maybe this could give the politicians another form of drive to make sure that the educational system in the country is, competitive compared to other climes?
Yeah, I mean, that is the solution. We have just said it. It is by the time we make it mandatory that, all politicians, all public office holders, children must attend public schools too. And I'm telling you, they all want to make laws that will benefit the common masses. Because in a situation where that is not done, they will send their children abroad, they will send them to Harvard universities. I mean, a lot of schools like that because they can afford it. And whereas it won't give them the drive to really want to make any law that will, allow organizations like ASU to have their ways. So by the time that one is on, even in education alone, even in the medical area, we should all be allowed to attend, public, general hospitals. And I'm telling you that one is done. Government will look inward and make sure that, these hospitals are equipped, these educational facilities are, well funded so that, we shall all have the same thing. And it's a very good solution.
Okay, now let's move away from that. Currently, as we speak now, do remember that last year the government has envisaged that in the year 2022 and most likely in the month of February, the fuel subsidy will completely be removed. Well, the Nigerian Labour Congress and other civil society organizations are currently resisting that position of the government because they feel fuel prices will skyrocket, there will be hardship in the land and all of that. Where do you think this will take us to?
Well, it's going to be another cooler balloon. It's not going to be something that's going to be easy for Nigerians. As I'm talking to you now, life are not very easy for Nigerians. And by the time government insists that it's going to remove the subsidy and it's going to increase, the PMS prices, create and give more hardship to Nigerians. And it will be better if all these organizations are on ground. We will make governments realize that any step that will make life more hardened, bringing more hardship to Nigerians this time around is something that is not going to work out well for Nigerians. Well, I'm talking to you. Nigerians are not living in a like you cannot even afford to eat 3 square meals, somewhere like, when you're just taking something you really wanted. You should bring some policies that will make life better for Nigerians. One can understand the fundamental problem is we are not refining our petrol here. So we have to be careful. As we have our refineries working, then there wouldn't have been any problem. When the situation we refine outside at a big amount of money and bring the products back to sell and buy at another big amount of money, it's not going to work well.
Okay. Now, Honorable Jaji, there's something about the government and the governed and the relationship that exists between both parties. In Nigeria, we haven't seen cases or instances where the voice of the governed prevailed over the policies that are being churned out by the government. What do you think is the cause of this? Why this misunderstanding between the government and the governed?
The problem we are having is the political arena in Nigeria has been monetized. In a situation where somebody feels he wants to become a senator or a governor, he needs to spend a lot of money. Nigerians have been so much impoverished to an extent that 1,000 naira during election time can have a meaningful impact in their life. So the monetization of the electoral politics is the one that is giving us the problem. By the time somebody spends close to 2 billion to get to the post of a senator or a governor, by the time he gets there, the first thing he wants to do is to incorporate his money. But in a situation where, the place looks very less attractive, the senatorial, the governorship, less attractive, people will be able to render services to our people, and they will be, highly liable to want to talk to people and tell them that it's government of the people, for the people, and by the people. In a situation where somebody is in position of authority and is not talking to the people, that is just making or probably thinking of what he thinks the people need compared to what people really needed. There are two different things. So there is no way you can, give downtrodden programs, give, good governance to your people when you are not combating or probably talking to your people and asking what they really wanted. Is something that's going to be difficult.
Okay, now when you look at cases, fine, the people said government should not increase or remove fuel subsidy because they feel there will be a hardship in the land, and the government wants to do that because they feel the subsidy is having a very, very deep hole and negative effect in the finances of government. In this particular case, whose opinion or whose should prevail?
Well, it is the opinion of the masses that should prevail. One would have expected a proactive government to have solved this problem that we are talking about. We've been talking about fuel subsidy for almost 10 years ago. One would have expected a very good responsive government to have looked into it before we get to the state. And there is nothing bad as I'm saying now for us to be able to look for a way of this problem so that we will have the people. And so we can just I cannot continue in the same way I'm expecting to get a different result.
Okay.
And do something that will make life better for them. That's what makes it very stupid. And in that people will continue to play software.
Okay.
Going to be
All right. Honorable Jaji, like you rightly said, some of the problems that we are currently dealing with, even in the year 2022, we've been dealing with them for like 20 years back. What role do you think the people should play so they can have this influence with the government who are responsible for making these policies, because the people themselves have been accused of lagging behind and not doing what is required of them to do in order to achieve the required result?
Well, a good follower must always be ready to listen to their government and obey the rules and regulations. Pay your taxes as I pay. Make sure that you get yourself involved in things that are legal. The idea of international battery of Nigerian state is enough. I think the followers are ready to follow very well. That are ready to listen very well. There is no way what we want to do rather than cutting their coats according to the sizes of their cloth that they have.
Okay.
A lot of getting the governance. Like how we reduce cost of governance and we can easily use it now that we have looked on our refineries and whether our refineries are working. Like our refineries are working, we can give a lot of things that the government goes to mechanize for me. Follow us to see the government policy on wanting to provide abundance for people, and we can even export exceptions of our that will earn foreign exchange. The government needs to be very proactive, decisive, and focused. That is how we can solve our problems.
Okay. Honorable Lanre Jaji is a public commentator and public affairs analyst, joins us this morning from Ogun State. Many thanks for your time this morning.